Dímelo, mi gente. What up? It's your boy Gus from Gus Villa Jewelry. Welcome to the VVS podcast, a very, very senseless podcast. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I'm a little low energy right now.
Low energy.
Low energy. The energy isn't right in the vibe. The podcast is about a vibe, and sometimes you have to catch a vibe to be able to expend this kind of energy via the interwebs. And the energy's a little low, but you know what? This is what I like about the VVS podcast. We've now established on episode number 41. I was about to say 40.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. That I now have got some credibility where people are just listening to it just because they mess with our work. Yeah. So we don't have to be overly excited. They don't have to be overly crazy.
Nope.
We could just be ourselves. If the vibe is low, then the podcast energy is low.
That's
and
what
there's
it
nothing
is.
wrong with it.
That's what it is.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. So as you guys know, this is the VVS podcast. It is 2 idiots, 10-minute timer with 5 trending topics that we're going to talk about. Before we get into the topics, though, we're going to talk about who is to my left. It's the man, the myth, the legend. He is behind the camera every once in a while. Every time that you see him behind the lens, consider it a gift. You're welcome for what you are about to hear, what you're about to experience. Can we get a clap for one of the best producers, the best thing to ever happen to the VVS podcast? Thank God Mello is not here, honestly, which is the elephant in the room. Who cares? We're going to keep it going. We honestly don't even need him, to be honest.
Mello's not here today?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. It's Galo, the producer.
Let's go. Knee slaps. Knee claps.
Let's go. Knee claps. And
I
am so proud. I am so happy to introduce, for the very first time, he is a sales rep here for GVJ. We had to pull a favor from the favors. He is here volunteering his time. Nah, I'm just kidding. He gets to go home early tomorrow. That's the only reason why he did it. Let's keep it a bean.
Let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck.
He is a guy who sits at the store. If you guys have ever been to the store down here in Miami, the flagship store.
Downtown Miami.
Flagship. I just love throwing that word.
Yeah.
The flagship.
The flagship.
Store.
Come on.
Because you have a series of stores.
It's got to be the flagship, though. When you say flagship, we're like, them boys are serious down there.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's a sales rep at the flagship store. He is tall, he is lanky, and he is here volunteering his time. It's Alejandro, the producer. It's the very first time. Alejandro, can we get a clap, man? God damn it, dog.
There you go. Come on, man. A little something.
Christ, give us some energy
That's
here.
fine,
Grab the mic if you're going to talk.
If you're going to talk, speak into the mic.
Okay, so people can listen to me.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right, listen. His English isn't the best, but he's the best looking guy on the team. Am I right or am I right, Galo?
It's not very good looking.
It's not very good looking. But you know what? We're
going to make it work.
Yeah, but guess what?
He volunteered.
He volunteered, so don't expect much. I mean, we're going to get the bare minimum out of him.
That's fine.
But because of him, the producer chair has been filled.
Let's go.
And we are on.
As long as it's not Jerry. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, my God.
As long as it's not Jerry, as long as he's able to switch camera angles, that's it.
No.
That's all I'm asking for.
No, here's the thing. Just hit the record button,
hit the record.
My brother. Just hit the record, brother.
You're right. Just hit record.
That's it, dog.
That's it.
If this episode comes out with video, he's already done more than Jerry has ever done.
Already better than Jerry.
He's already better than Jerry. And he's also a really funny dude. But he primarily speaks Spanish, even though he's going to hit us with some English this time. Am I right?
Let's
Alejandro,
go.
grab the mic.
Alejandro,
grab the mic for the love of Christ.
Español.
Dime, papi, que hola. Carterero. You know what's so funny? I'll tell you a true story. He could actually attest to that. Mario Diamonds, the scumbag from upstairs.
Of course.
First day of work, his first day, he comes in there. He looks at me like, oh, yeah, where are you from? Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Cuba.
Yeah, but where in Cuba?
We're from in Cuba.
From Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. He looks at him. He goes, these people learn how to steal before they know how to walk.
Shout out Mario Diamonds.
I'm like that. Shout out Mario Diamonds. Just absolutely ruining.
Just running through that.
I'm here trying to be serious with him. Like, listen, dog, this is what we got to do,
this
dog.
Is this guy.
And Mario comes in and just destroys.
Hey, where you from?
Destroys any sort of credibility that I had. So
shout out Mario Diamonds.
Shout out Mario Diamonds if you haven't been there. Holla at me. Anyway, The format of the podcast, if you guys are new listeners, for those following on our brand new channel, check out the VVS podcast. We've been saying it. We've been preaching it. We are no longer going to post on the GVJ channel, the Gus Villa Jewelry channel. This is going to be its own thing. The VVS podcast, check it out on the VVS podcast. Google the VVS podcast, and you will find the new videos and the new episodes out there. But we are 3 idiots now. 5 topics with a 10-minute timer on each one of those topics. They're all trending. Let's talk about topic number 1. Galo, the producer.
I got topic number 1 for you. So AI is in the news this week. There's 2 stories. They're both on like different spectrums.
Sure.
So I'm gonna give you both of them. One's pretty funny. The other one's kind of morbid. Not kind of morbid. It's extremely morbid. But here we are. So a high schooler was punished for using AI.
Why?
He was using it in a essay, like a homework assignment, submitted it, just strictly used AI and got punished for it. So now the parents are suing the school for that. So a Massachusetts high school senior's parent are suing the school after he faced punishment using AI tools for a history essay. They claim he didn't violate any rules and that the consequences, a poor grade, detention, and barring from the National Honor Society have put his top college aspirations at risk. According to the student's mother, the student in question's first choice is Stanford. He also already received a perfect score on the ACT. But the school argues that the use of AI in this context violated their academic integrity standards.
Okay, but how do you know a little bit more about the issue? How did he use AI? Because if he used AI and just straight plagiarized a straight up full essay, research paper, and all that stuff, then yeah, of course that's wrong.
Do you think so? Do you think that's I mean, with today's technology and like things like that, like, you actually think that's wrong?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. It's like, bro, like, look, the reason why using a calculator, AI was calculator before AI was like normal, right? I mean, you would go back and you would be like, okay, what's the timetables? I didn't know the timetables, so I would whip out my calculator, and AI, an algorithm at the time, would tell me exactly what I wanted to know just by punching in the keys. And so therefore, I didn't work that problem out to get the end result. Hence, I was plagiarizing. I was plagiarizing the calculator's AI. That's basically what it is. And so if I did no research on why whales in northern Norway are more prone to cancer because of the type of seals that they eat, and I just chat GPT it, and it gives me the answer. It's the same thing as if I were to type in, what's 6 times 6? I'm grabbing the information from somewhere I've done no research on, and I'm just inputting it somewhere else. And therefore, I am plagiarizing 100%. That's you should not, bro, it would only be, and I can't believe I'm taking this mellow-esque type stance.
This is a mellow-esque stance.
But the reality is, you are plagiarizing. You are grabbing information that is not yours. It's not your intellectual property. You did not do any research on it. If that is what they are doing, I don't know the specifics on it. That's why I asked about it. But if what they are saying is, I went on there and I grabbed information that was not mine, I did no research, and all I did was copy paste it, yeah, of course you should definitely be punished. And you are being a little bitch about it because you're probably leaning on that. And you probably have, let's keep it a bean, if you have honor society, you're probably got money, and now your parents are leaning on them like, oh, let me get my lawyer involved.
Let me get my lawyers involved.
Yeah, let me get my lawyers involved so that you can go to Princeton because you're probably a little rich, little, you know what I mean? Little SOB.
Yeah.
And maybe that's my prejudice against them. You know what I mean?
And you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. So now there's another AI story in the news. Now this one is definitely more morbid. The mother sues the character.ai and Google after a Game of Thrones AI chatbot allegedly drove son to suicide.
Ooh, that is morbid.
That's rough.
Jesus.
It's one of those things where, all right, the mother of a 14-year-old Florida boy suing the Silicon Valley-based AI company claiming its chatbot is connected to her son's death by suicide. So it's like basically he was speaking to a Game of Thrones chatbot, like AI, that was taking the form of like one of the main characters, which is Daenerys Targaryen, which is the
Game of Thrones. Oh, like
Game
the,
of
like the
Thrones.
blonde, like
Yeah,
Emily
yeah.
Clark's
Yeah, exactly.
character. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that character
yeah.
specifically. So he would have full on conversations with this chatbot and be like, you know what? I don't want to live anymore, type things like that. And the chatbot would respond like, no, that you need to keep living, but if you want to, if you don't want to, then I understand. So like the parents got involved. Parents understood that like, hey, like you need to understand like this is chat, this is AI, this is, you know,
This isn't real.
this isn't real. And the kid to some degree realized that like he understood like I know this is not real, but still I want to feel this way.
What?
Yeah.
But what do you mean so he understood that it was AI?
He understood it was AI,
Okay.
but he still wanted to like believe in some way that no, this is a real thing.
So he's just like, I mean, for better or for worse, he's a little weak.
Yeah,
He's a little weak. He's a little bitch.
There's-
He's probably someone I would trip in school.
sure. Yeah,
Wow, that's good.
that's awful. Damn, you trip kids in school, man. You were that guy.
No. I was cool.
That was cool.
I was gonna say we were cool. Nah, I mean, look, if you are, I know that there's two sides to this, and this can get really ethical, really ugly, really fast.
Sure.
And a part of me wants to say that, yeah, if you are stupid enough to believe that this AI is validating your feelings,
Yeah.
and you are affirming them in a way that, okay, now it's something that I want to do with my life. In other words, take my life, then, you know, you are kind of like, you're an idiot. And I wouldn't say like you deserve it, but in the sense of like, bro, like if you walked out of a ledge knowing that ledge is going to kill you and you still did it, it's kind of like, bro, like don't blame somebody else when it happens.
When it happens.
Right? At the same time, I am a 36-year-old, fully functioning, mentally developed male who knows right from wrong. And that type of technology is being applied to a kid who's 14 years old, who gets made fun of by some random kid and goes home and takes it and absorbs it and probably deciphers it in a completely different way than I would. Say, for instance, the YouTube comments. Like, that's why these kids are depressed half the time, because they hear these YouTube comments and they're taking it to heart. I could pull away from that and detach myself to that because I am a more emotionally intelligent, or however you want to call it. However, you still have to take some responsibility for yourself. Like, if you knew that that was an AI, and that's you, and you just validated
And
that,
you
that
still were like,
and you did it, bro. Like, that's kind of on you, bro.
I get that. I absolutely get that. And I don't want to blame the parents.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like you gotta take a step back and understand, like, if your child's going through something and they're claiming that Chat GPT or whatever it is, or AI is their friend and they're validating their thoughts for like self-harm and like stuff like that, like, no, you got to address that like right then and there.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting these signs, like that's something that you need to take into account and address these with these persons.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, bro, there has to be a level of accountability for people in the real world because AI is coming. And if you think this is bad, like I've seen, bro, I was supposed to go to Austria today. And I went on ChatGPT to try to stump it. And I said, ChatGPT, give me a 17-day road trip through Austria and back, to and from. Also, make me a diagram AI image about it. Thinking that it was going to be like, nah, you know, like maybe calculating and then nothing happens. Did it for me, dog. And I was like, and I said, specifically, I want to visit these particular cities in the Bavaria. I want to visit Hallstatt and I want to visit this. Okay, cool. This is where you stay. These are some places where we would recommend you play. These are places we want to avoid because it doesn't have a lot of Airbnbs available. Oh, and here's the AI image map so you can visualize of where you're going to go. So AI is getting so insanely advanced that there has to be something to regulate it. And hence why these big bodies like Elon Musk and all these people want to be like, bro, there has to be a regulating body that's put a stop. There has to be.
There has to be something that goes on specifically. Like, I don't want to go back to like, be like, oh, we're like Terminator 2, like Sarah Connor, you know? But like, it feels like we're heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But at the same time, we do need some sort of regulation, and there has to be, unfortunately, a bunch of stupid people that get caught up in this before we have some sort of regulation on AI and all that stuff happens. In the meantime, though, these kids and this parents and whatever it is can't keep getting away and just blaming AI, bro. Yeah. It's like as an example, like if that particular case, because it's all case by case basis, I smoked and now I want to sue Philip Morris for me getting lung cancer.
Yeah.
Babo, like if you knew this was an AI, if you knew that that's what was going on and you still killed yourself, like the parents can't just, I know, look, when tragedy happens in anybody's life, you always want to find someone to point the finger at.
Of course.
You want to be like, this is his fault. This is why it happened.
This is why this happened.
This is why it happened. But we don't know. We don't know what that kid went through. We don't know. Maybe he was manically depressed. Maybe he had schizophrenia, undiagnosed. There could be a million
things that go into effect.
At the end of the day, there has to be some sort of accountability for yourself. The kid was depressed. You didn't handle it the way you did as parents. You didn't reinforce it as parents. Like, dog, listen, I was just having this conversation with my boy Alejandro. Shout out Alejandro from Bacon Cafe. If you're ever in downtown, go hit him up. Go have some food over there. Mm-hmm. He was on the extreme other side of this conversation. We were just having this conversation right now. He was saying, bro, I spoke to a psychologist, and the psychologist was telling me that there's no such thing as bullying, that bullying doesn't exist because it's either you are the bully, or if you are getting bullied, there's only two types of ways to handle it. You either are the person who doesn't know how to handle it, or you're the person who fights back, and bullying doesn't exist. It's just kids are not trained by their parents to be able to react to it. Now, do I agree with it? No. I think bullying does exist, and it shouldn't be in the extreme form of it, because I did see it in high school where like there were some kids that were ruthlessly torn to pieces who don't have the personality to fight back. And I do think that that's wrong. But to a certain extent, bro, like there has to be something where you have to be like, okay, you do have to fight back. Your parents do have to learn to be like, hey, bro, you can't just take it's not just soft feelings all the time. Like people are going to make fun of you. Adversity is going to happen to you, and you do have to do something about it.
What are you going to do? How are you going to respond?
How are you going to respond, bro? Yeah. And it's the parents who constantly seek excuses for their kids that are the same parents who sue because their kid killed himself because an AI told them to do. It's enabling to a certain extent. I sound like Mello, and it's disgusting. It really is, though, dog. Like, I hate it. But sometimes it's true.
But I agree. I agree wholeheartedly that, like, that's what it comes down to. Topic number 2.
Topic number 2. Oh, by the way, Alejandro, you're supposed to put a timer when the topic starts, and then just give us the.
That's fine. I got the timers going.
Yeah. Do you? It's G the P. Galo the Purdue.
No, I'm wearing 2 hats, baby.
Yeah. All right. Don't. Hey, just do the bare minimum, dog. I mean,
just switch the cameras. Alejandro.
Grab the mic. Dog. Thank you for such crazy input about the AI and how it's affecting the youth, Alejandro. Jesus Christ.
How's the AI affecting you?
Tell me, Alejandro. Give us your take.
It doesn't affect me.
Grab the mic.
It doesn't affect me.
No, I could obviously tell you, dog.
Now that you're talking about it, hay un video de un tipo que le enseña porque la inteligencia artificial está regida por 3 leyes de la robótica, que una es como que no puedes dañar al humano, el otro es, o sea, que es como un ciclo vicioso, y hay un tipo que enseña cómo saltarte esos 3 ciclos, o esos 3 leyes, y el tipo le preguntaba a la inteligencia artificial dónde podía encontrar sustancias ilícitas, pero lo hacía de una manera que se saltaba esas 3 leyes y la inteligencia artificial llegaba a darle los datos exactos de la ciudad donde él estaba, donde se vendía eso.
Holy shit! So basically, it's
for the non-speaking,
for the non-English speakers, there's 3 laws that this artificial intelligence would say. Basic 3 fundamentals on exactly what you shouldn't do, and the codes that the artificial intelligence is going to do, and yet they were still able to pinpoint from some guy talking about it. They were still able to circumvent that, and the artificial intelligence was even so intelligent that was able to tell them exactly where you could find the way to circumvent this. So artificial intelligence will beat itself, and that's kind of the scary part.
Yeah.
So even if you write in the code,
like, hey, I want you to do this.
I want you to not give suicidal evidence. Some way it'll outsmart
I'm still gonna figure
itself.
out. Yeah. I'm still gonna figure out.
It's weird,
how to,
bro.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's crazy.
That whole process is just strange.
Yeah,
Wait, drink your.
Come on, man.
Come
you know
on,
I'm
man. I'm doing work.
You know I'm doing work. All right.
What does that mean? Grab the
I'm
drink,
doing
dog.
work.
Pause. Hey, let's go. Put it right here, dog. We're a little G the P drink. A little G the P juice.
Drink. Little GDP juice.
And we're doing just fine with Alejandro the producer.
Alejandro the producer is doing his thing. A to P is doing his thing.
A the P.
All right.
Anywho.
Topic number 2. According to Wall Street Journal,
Go on.
there are 27 million paid content creators in the U.S.
27 million?
27 million. And 44% of them say social media is their full-time job. That would mean there are 12 million full-time influencers in America. How do you feel about that? 12 million influencers. You could speak to that.
Man, that's a crazy stat. That's a crazy stat. Yeah. I mean, look, I could tell you the positive of it.
Go ahead.
I could tell you the positives of it. Sometimes, and a lot of times, it's a really good thing because we learn about different cultures and different people that we had no idea about.
Sure.
However, of those 12 million, they all can't be positive.
They can't all be positive.
There's probably a bunch of Alejandro scumbags out there from Santa Clara.
Am I right? When you're right, you're right.
That learn how to steal before they learn how to walk. Am I right, dog? So
you're right,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. It's kind of a scary stat.
I would say statistically, like at least half of that is not good.
Yeah. No. Oh, easy. That's a modest number, my brother.
Yeah.
Look, man. I'll tell you one thing, bro. Honestly, it's crazy to have the word influence be something that describes a person.
A person.
More specifically, when you become and you put yourself in the position where what your opinion says matters and that you influence a certain type of people, and then that particular...
And that it's monetary.
Not only monetary, because monetary is the good part about it. The bad part about it is, say, for instance, as an example, Galo, you became an influencer on different types of hats.
Okay.
And the competition loved, non-stitched hats. And you were about stitch hats,
Sure.
as an example.
Sure.
And you pushed a narrative based on your YouTube that stitch hats were the way to go.
That's it.
That's it. And you influenced a whole genre of people that started watching your YouTube channel about stitch hats. And then they started going to war for you to the non-stitch hat guys.
People, yeah.
And they're like fighting each other and like...
And they're like, no, non-stitch is the way to go. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Stitch is the way to go.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine how stupid that example is.
Yeah.
But that's how influence works in a certain way. And the craziest part about it is we do this here. We do YouTube channels.
Sure.
And right now, I am a big, like lab diamond kind of guy.
Yep.
Because I understand the evils of, natural diamonds and the way they push it and all the craziness that goes on with natural diamonds. But you begin to build a following of that just based on you being in front of a camera and explaining that to people.
Yeah.
The scary part about that is, non-stitch hats as opposed to stitch hats is something that's never going to affect people's lives. But there are a lot of people out there that have a big influence that is like some
can influence.
That's
and
some real shit.
Yeah, can influence a market specifically.
Bro, look at this dude, Alex Jones or whatever. This guy is a psycho.
Yeah.
And he has insane followers that like think what he's saying is like the word of
truth.
Jesus.
Is the truth.
You know, doing the whole like
which is why he got sued for Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook and like that. It was an unsurmountable amount of evidence that like this actually happened.
No, like this actually happened, and you were actually telling people out here that like, no, it didn't happen. There's all a conspiracy and stuff like that. And people, now you got to pay billions of dollars in like
in restitution. Yeah. And like people were showing up to these people like whose kids had gotten slain. And they were like, oh, like you're a liar.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like how are you going to tell me as the parent of that child that didn't happen? That didn't exist in a moment in time. They're like, oh, I'm just coming up with this off the top of my head. And then it's not real.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And that's the kind of influence that someone have just because they talk in front of a camera. You know, what I think is that it's scary. Yeah. A lot of it is, you know, I sometimes even say it to myself, man, like, don't follow me, brother. Like I am not sometimes the voice of reasoning. Challenge. Yeah. That's why there's some people that fight for the cause that you're trying to push. And what they don't understand is at the end of the day, it's so good to have different opinions. Sometimes I'll sit in this damn chair, bro, and I'll listen to Mello. Shout out Mello, who's in love.
Shout out Mello.
In the honeymoon show. Let's shout out Mello.
Let's go. Shout out Mello.
Who sometimes has the most extreme, crazy opinions.
Crazy opinions.
That I genuinely don't agree with at all. I don't, like, I'm just like, brother, that's such a stupid take.
Crazy take.
Like, I call him the Stephen A. Smith. Or not, the Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless.
He's the Skip Bayless
Skip
take.
Bayless.
And sometimes I'm like, it's still good because he forces you to think in a different way.
Yeah.
In a completely different way that you would normally. So I do think that to a certain extent it's healthy. When it gets crazy is the fact that there are 12 million people out there that some of them may be just talking in another person's take because at the end of the day, we're just opinionating based on our life experiences until we get to that point. But there is some sort of scariness to it because some of these influencers, 12 million of us out there that are getting paid to do this,
calling it an actual job and getting paid for it, they're being recognized by the Wall Street Journal.
Dude, some of them don't have the best intentions.
Yeah, no,
and at the end of the day, something may be as minimal as a hat debate, and the other things are like some real serious shit that like
that'll affect
people's lives,
day-to-day life.
Yeah, and they're gonna influence you to do all kinds of crazy stuff.
I mean, let's talk about it. It's election season. We're 2 weeks away.
Oh my God, you're about to start talking about this. Okay,
but we're 2 weeks away from one of the biggest elections, and we can say in our United States history. And of course, that's going to get affected because there's people out there that have their positions, and they're going to influence other people to go a certain way.
Yeah. It's scary, bro.
Yeah.
It's scary that there's 12 million people that are getting paid off of it. Like, look, I am a person who gets paid to do that.
Yeah, sure.
And there's people that, you know, I am no way like a real influencer on a major scale that pushes the scale one way or another. Like, I'm no Taylor Swift or anything like that. But in the small world that I, you know,
in your niche world,
in my niche, I have some sort of influence over that thing.
Absolutely.
And for the most part, I take it to heart. Sometimes, like Ben and I, the editor of this podcast, the editor of all the content, will talk about narratives that we want to push. Like, do we want to go forward with this? Because it's like, are we going to sound like we're trying to push one thing over the other? Like, that shit's a responsibility you have to take.
It absolutely is.
And I'm on a super small scale. And so like, if you are a 14-year-old kid, to go back to the AI thing, and you fall in love with a particular influencer that now tells you, hey, man, it's okay to pull the trigger. It's okay to do that. It's okay to kill yourself. It's okay to bully. It's okay to do whatever it is. Like, look at this guy. What's his name, man? Something Tate? Andrew Tate? No.
Okay.
Andrew
Tate.
He catered for a very long time. Andrew Tate catered for a very long time to a generation like Gen Z who was seeking male role models through social media.
Yep.
And he came in and began to preach a certain type of way of thinking, which was to a certain extent very extreme. Alpha male.
Yep.
Like he was the one who branded that alpha male type of like just that lingo itself. And he created a bunch of younger, kids, for lack of a better word, to think that that was okay to do that and to lack empathy towards women and all these extreme things. And he was playing a character of that for that reaction that you were going to get on the other side of it. But because they couldn't recognize that or couldn't split the two, he began to create this whole generation of alpha kids that thought it was cool to do all this dumb shit, it's not realistic.
I see him as a person that like recognized that opportunity. Yeah, absolutely. He recognized that outlet, that opportunity. Like, oh, this is something that's not present, and kids that can grasp onto, and I can see a monetary value to this.
And he took it all the way to the bank. Yeah. And now he has 16 housewives in Romania because and good for him.
And good for him. And some other crazy shit because he's into like he's been like charged with other like things and all that shit, but like
it's because the generation went so soft, had none of that, and here's this fast, smooth talking guy who's talking about all these things that like low self-confidence young kids are experiencing through social media. And here's this guy saying this is what you have to do, and then now all of a sudden they make that persona themselves. They are being influenced by themselves, and so it's a dangerous game you play.
Dangerous game.
It's kind of scary in a way.
It's the most scary.
Yeah.
All right. Topic number 3.
Damn, are we getting a little morbid for this podcast?
No, I don't think so.
Or it's a little serious.
Yeah,
serious.
I mean, we'll get into some fun topics.
Alejandro makes it serious though. Like we shouldn't be so serious. Alejandro, say something funny. Give us a joke. Give us a little comedic relief.
It's my first time.
He's a little scared. It's a little scarado.
I remember my first time.
I like it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Maybe you'll be invited next time. No, probably not.
Sure.
Let's keep it a bean. You're probably never going to be invited.
Keep it a buck. Never again.
Well, if you hit record, we now have a second.
We now
have a viable option other than Jerry.
That's it. As long as he hit record, Jerry, you're out of here. I don't care where you're at.
Honestly, I would rather not Jerry have here.
Jerry, don't come.
Yeah, honestly, don't come.
Don't
come. Okay.
Topic number 3.
Can we give a little shout out to Strong 16?
Strong 16.
Clap.
Let's go.
Alejandro, when we
clapping, man.
Clap.
Do something, man.
God,
with
for
the
love
thumbs,
of Christ.
Something, man.
Get used to this.
Okay, we'll put the mic and clap. Okay.
Grab the mic.
Get used to this.
Okay, getting used.
They got me here.
Do you know who Strong 16 is, Alejandro? Do you know what Strong 16 is?
No.
Strong 16, baby.
I'm gonna give you maybe that's the reason why.
Let's go.
In the beginning, we only had like 16 people that would just
16 viewers.
Just 16 viewers that would consistently come back to the podcast every single time. So we would do these podcasts and be like, oh, it's only 16 people watching us. And so we would say like Strong 16. So like it became the only pack of people that would watch this, we would call them the Strong 16. So every once in a while, we give them a little shout out to the Strong 16.
Shout out.
Let's go. Anyway, go.
All right.
Topic number 3.
Topic 3. A Cornell University study found that 85% of the things we worry about never actually happen. Even when worries did come true, 79% of participants handled the situation better than expected or learned something valuable. The study shows that worries are unnecessary, and recognizing this can help reduce stress by focusing on what's within our control and practicing mindfulness. I brought this up because I thought
I'm interested in your take on this. Go ahead.
No, I brought this up because I thought honestly, this was I was shooting this specifically for Mello.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he didn't show up.
That's
great.
And
okay.
And you know how that goes.
Yeah.
But as we know, our co-host, the man to the left, usually Mello.
Yeah, sure. Is a worrier. He's a worrier.
He is a warrior.
Yeah.
Not a warrior, a warrior. So yeah, I mean, listen, like it's something I wanted to bring to his attention. Like, I know you're going through stuff.
Sure.
We're all going through stuff.
Right.
Alejandro's going through stuff, man. He's living day to day, man. We all are. And you just need to go out there and get it, man.
You know, I didn't. I'm gonna tell you a story, and it's such a simple story, bro. And it goes to show that like everybody is going through something.
You don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is. I got here at like probably like 9 a.m. in the morning. And there was a lady here that cleans and mops the area before all the stores open up. So we're in a building in downtown, and there's usually a maintenance crew. And they get here really early in the morning, and they like wipe all down all the crystals, and they do all the maintenance for most of the stores, including the main hallway. And I say hi to this lady all the time. I try to say hi to everybody around here so that they know who I am. I know who they are. And at the end of the day, it's just being nice, right?
Build a reputation.
Sure. So we walk in, and I say hi to this lady all the time. But I had this order that needed to get done, and shout out Mario Diamonds, the scumbag.
Shout out.
He didn't even cast something that I needed to get casted. And it was something that I had been stressing over for the night before and during the night of. And I was just stressed about it and like about work in general. Because sometimes it does get like, you know, Alejandro knows he's been here, even though he's at the store, he's been here long enough to where, you know, like shit gets busy at GVJ, dog. Like it is
orders piling up.
Orders piling up, customers calling. He answers the phone now. So he gets it firsthand of how it is when you got to have customers. And to a certain extent, like, again, people are paying their hard-earned money.
Yep.
You want to be able to give them a good product, and you want to
absolutely
please people. So when you don't, it gets stressful, though. Like, sometimes I walk in here, Alejandro's stressed. I'm stressed. Like, we're all kind of just dealing with it as a team.
When you're behind on orders
of course,
something,
bro.
One thing leads to another.
And I'm going through that in the morning, especially in the morning. So I walk in, dog, and I go, and I'm like, I pull up in my scooter, and I park in front of the store, and I'm texting Mario an infuriating text. It's not a nice one, dog. It's like, bro, I told you about this shit. This is what I didn't want. And I'm like, and I hear like, blah, 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 you know, good. And I'm like, just, you know, going, oh my God. And then I realized that the cleaning lady was mopping. She's having a great morning. And she told me, buen día, niño. In other words, like, hey, good morning, boy. But like, like that's how old ladies would talk to you. Like, buen día, niño. And I say hi to her every morning. And I didn't register in my head because I'm having such a stressful morning already. It's not even fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, or 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm already having this kind of day. And then afterwards, I like stop and I'm like, oh man, she told me like good morning. Yeah. And I stop and I tell her, and I'm like, oh my God, ma'am, I'm sorry. Like, the lady's name, whatever. And I tell her, like, good morning. Like, how are you? Like, like, I'm sorry. I was on the phone.
Sure.
And you know what she told me? Like, she could have easily been like, oh, like, okay, yeah, whatever. And just kind of, she goes, no. I know that sometimes you guys get distracted. It's all good. Just tell me good morning when,
when you
it's
can.
all good. Yeah. Like, and
if you don't worry about it.
Dog, and I sat there and I was like, damn, dog, like, what an emotionally intelligent thing to say, right? Like, you could have easily been like, what a jerk. Like, I say good morning to him. He knows who I am. Like, he heard me, right?
I know
like,
he heard me.
Yeah, he tried to swerve me or like, you know what I mean? But she understood.
Like, hey, he's a little busy. He's
a little busy.
Stuff.
How many people don't do that on a constant basis? How many people aren't empathetic to what somebody else is going through?
That's the word, empathetic.
And create these narratives in their head about what's going on because this person didn't say hello to me. Yeah. Or maybe I said something to them and they reacted in a very nasty way and they're like, oh, they're nasty, but you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what's
going on. You don't know what they had to do with the night before, the morning of, right then and there. Yeah. And that's the thing.
That's the crazy part. And that happened to me like 3 days ago. And I sat there and so this morning when I got here, right before, I got here early this morning and I pulled up and I saw her mopping the floor again. Same thing as I do every day. And I came up to her and I go, hey, good morning. How are you? This time I went up to her because I wanted her to let her know. Like,
yes.
Like, I was just having.
I recognize you.
I was having a crappy day.
Sure.
And it's business as usual. You're gonna get the same hello. You might get a little bit of coffee in my hand, but you never know what anybody is going through, bro. And it's a crazy reality that we all have to live with, man.
Yes.
Bro, there are, without sounding, again, why I don't understand why you and I always get morbid on these podcasts. Honestly, I don't understand why. And we start talking about like serious shit. But like you really, there are more things in life and in friendship and in whatever that brings us together than they do separate us.
Yeah.
And there are some of my really good friends, your family members, let's keep it a bean. You know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Who politically I can't disagree more with.
We can't align whatsoever.
Yeah. But yet,
that's love.
I love her.
That's love. That's fam.
That's more than fam. It's like it's more than that.
Yeah.
And if you just stop and take things for what they are, okay, cool. We don't agree on these certain things.
We don't agree on certain topics, certain ideologies, whatever But
it's okay.
But that's fine.
But it's okay.
There's nothing wrong
How
with
are
that.
you mentally? What are you doing, brother?
What
are you worrying about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that, to your point about Melo, like there's a lot of things that him and I don't agree with fundamentally, with his extreme opinions on certain things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't care about that because guess what? We do agree on sports.
Sure. We agree on other things.
We agree on a bunch of other things
and that's fine.
Can bring us
together
fundamentally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There are some things that I think that like with certain partners or whatever it is that you don't agree on, but like, I don't know, man. Like, we were having this conversation right before coming here at Tipsy Flamingo. Shout out Tipsy Flamingo.
Shout out
Again,
Tipsy.
if you are in downtown go
Miami.
there. It's the VVS podcast sponsored by Tipsy Flamingo. It's not really, but kind of is.
But it kind of is.
If you go down there, it's a bar in downtown right before. On Thursday nights, you can find us there. We're having a drink. Come have a drink with us. There are certain situations or friendships that you can possibly be in that you could look at them in both ways. Anyone can bring value to you, even if they are an evil person, whatever it is. If you can find something positive that you guys can both pull from, you can bring, outside of them being a super evil person, positivity out of any friendship and any relationship you are. And we were just talking about like there are certain people that you can vibe with on a consistent level. And we both have that friend where we don't talk to them for years. And yet when we are around them, we still...
Everything's Gucci.
Everything is Gucci, bro.
Yep.
And that shows, how we as humans can interact with each other on some real like shit that brings us... Connection, bro.
Yeah.
Without, like I said, without getting too deep with it about the topic that you're saying, there are so much shit that we can agree and bring positivity to our own lives. And we don't do it because we value the things that we worry about or that separate us or about all this dumb shit over the things that do actually join us.
Yeah. And where it's actually just like, if it's just a form of action, just do it. Just follow through with it. I guarantee it's not going to be as bad as you thought it was going to be.
Bro, listen, I can easily fight with 60% of the people that I follow just because, I'm nor left nor right. And I agree with some things and I agree with other things. I proudly say I'm an independent thinker and I'm an independent. There's things that I could say, yes, I do agree with the right and I do agree with the left.
Yep.
As much as that is. And because of that, I can alienate complete sides of my family.
Yep.
Complete sides of my friends group. And yet you don't do it because you say, I would rather value the things that do bring us together, things that, as an example, like you gave the perfect example of Melo, who's a worrier.
Yeah.
And he worries about a lot of things. And I think that the main thing that I would, tell people that have this insane worry or the same anxiety, and sometimes it is uncontrollable, and sometimes
it is like specifically with me. I mean, I feel like everyone goes through a form of anxiety.
Sure.
Of course, there's something that it's something at the back of your mind you're worrying about, whether it be school, whether it be, I don't know, a social situation, something with family, anything like that, man. Like, of course, you're going to be going through some form of anxiety, but I think the bigger topic is that once you follow through with whatever it is, whatever situation that you're in, everything's gonna be okay, man.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna come out on the other side and be like, wow, why did I waste so much time thinking about this situation? Or why did it take so long for me to do what I needed to do? And
yeah. There's a saying in Spanish, Alejandro. Tell me if you know it. Maybe my dad would say it all the time, and he said that his father would say it. In Spanish, it translates to si hay cura, porque hay apuro. Si no hay cura, porque hay apuro. In other words, if there's a solution to the problem, why are you in a hurry?
why?
And if there's no solution to the problem,
Why are you in a hurry?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to really translate that.
En Cuba lo que decimos es si está bien, bien, y si no, también.
También, right? Exactly. It's basically the same thing. Like,
it's the same thing.
if you are dealing with something, I'm not telling you not to deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it the way you
Deal
can,
with it.
right? But at the same time, two things I want to bring out of this whole conversation. Understand that people are going through anxieties.
Of course, yeah.
Be patient. Be empathetic.
Be patient and be empathetic.
Understand that there are things that bring us closer together than they do separately. And you may have your anxieties that aren't my anxieties, and I have to be empathetic about those things. Number two, understand that chances are when you peel that curtain to the side, the problems that you were worrying about and you were going through and you were stressed about it to the tits, where you were affecting relationships around there, you're going to be all right.
Day-to-day. You're going to be okay, dude.
You're going to be okay. Yeah. And if there's a fix for it, Gucci. And if there's not a fix for it, then that's Gucci too. Yeah, you know, anxiety is like a way that evolution has provided us humans to, you know, protect ourselves. If you're nervous, if you're anxious, you know, it's our body telling us this isn't normal.
Like,
stay
hey,
away,
going on,
you know, whatever. And that's okay. We're not meant to be in the last 300 to 500 years have evolved like the past 25,000 years. Yeah. In anxious situations, it's flight or fight, right? We either fight the situation or we run from it. Now there's complex situations which we have to deal with on a consistent basis. And maybe we're not all there, you know, and that's okay. Yeah. That's what I want to get across. If you see someone that's not going through this level of anxiety, be empathetic, because we don't know what everybody's going on with. If you are that person who is feeling this, understand that, like, we're all going through this.
We're all going through something.
And your situation is important. It is going to get better, but understand that, like, there's a good chance that you're going to be fine.
You're going to be fine.
It's better. It's easier said than done.
Like, I know at whatever, like, extreme point that you think that, like, it's not going to be fine, it's going to be fine.
Do you suffer from anxiety, Galo?
At times, I would say yes.
Is it ever, like, debilitating? Like,
no, I don't think it's ever debilitating to the point that, like, I can't ever do something or, like, I don't know, like go through with something. But
do you ever feel like anxiety to where, like, it's kind of crippling throughout the day, where, like, you're, like, kind of sitting at the crib and, like, it's really tough?
I'm sure I've had episodes where, you know, like I've thought about something like, oh, I got to get this done today. And then, like, in my 9 to 5, that, like, oh, I have 10 cases that I need to worry about today and get them appealed. And I got to speak with the doctor on the phone. And I got to get this information authorized for some of the, like, the work that I do on the, I did. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. That happens all the time. But I think my biggest thing is, like, I know that, like, it just has to get done at the end of the day. Like, I just got to move forward. That's really what it comes down to. Like, as long as you move forward, you're not going to step back.
Yeah. I think that a lot of times, you know, not even overthinking about it, but, like, in a way, like, talking about it over and over in your head is kind of like the issue that to me, I don't know how it is with everybody else. I don't know how it is for Alejandro. I don't know how it is for Galo. But to me, sometimes me thinking about it, and when I realize that I'm overthinking about a certain situation over and over and over, I just say, screw it, though. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do something about it.
Just do it, man.
And that's it. And then some way, somehow, it works itself out. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And that's fine,
and that's fine, too, bro.
And I think that's what people need to grasp.
Yeah.
People need to understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly have. I'm specifically with me. I mean, you know that, like, I'm not, like, the biggest talker. Like, I you know, like,
Yeah.
I keep to myself, but I have over the last 5 years that like understood that like whatever it is that I'm doing, if it's work, if it's a life situation, if it's with friends, if it's with family, I just gotta move forward, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just like sit on it and be like ignore it, because it's only gonna become a bigger problem. It's gonna become like, I don't want to use the word cancerous, but like it'll become cancerous, man. It'll take over and it'll become more of a thing than it should essentially be.
Yeah, and look, man, we're not sitting here on our high horses like we've overcome life. Like tomorrow,
I'm gonna deal with some shit.
I'm gonna deal with something that I'm gonna think that I can't get over myself. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it a bean. I ain't Gary V, dog. I'm like, work through your problems, bro. Like,
no. I'm not telling you that either.
No, man. And there's gonna be things that tomorrow, like I said, I think that I can't tackle. Like, bro, I'll give you a perfect example. There's times where I wake up in the morning and like work, like let's say for instance, even like GVJ, the company GVJ. And it's cool that I have somebody here who probably never hears anything of this on a regular basis. But there are a lot of decisions that I make that affect their daily lives,
of course,
and their futures here. In a perfect world, somebody buys Gus Villa Jewelry because I have 1 million, 2 million followers. And the guys who started this whole thing with me, it's a core of like 6 of us. And I'm like, all right, here's $20 million. Everybody has $1 million. Go retire somewhere in an island. And we all made it. We're going to hug it out. Hey, GBJ on 3, 1, 2, 3, GBJ. And everybody goes home. And everybody's chilling.
Fairy tale.
Right? But that's a perfect world that normally doesn't happen. Nope. So unfortunately, I have to go through day and day. Yep. And that, in and of itself, certain financial moves that you make as investments, great ideas that you think that you have to pump money from the company to is going to affect their daily lives.
Of course.
And that is a crippling anxiety because you actually care. You're not some Jeff Bezos chilling on a yacht and be like, oh yeah, fire the whole sales staff in Seattle. Let's go. Get it done. And he's chilling.
And he's just chilling.
It's not like that, dog. Yeah. You know what I mean? So because you care and because you're so one-on-one with a lot of people, a lot of things that you do are crippling. And so today I could sit here and say I can overcome a lot of it, but there are days where it sucks.
It sucks.
It legitimately sucks. So I mean, it's gonna be tough. We don't all have the answers. Nobody
has the answers.
Nobody has the 12 commandments of how to deal with this.
Not one person has the answers.
But at the same time, I understand the study. Because a lot of the most craziest anxieties I've ever had never panned out. Never panned out.
Especially when I followed through with whatever it is I needed to follow through with. I'm like, that wasn't bad at all.
Yeah,
dude.
You just wake up in the morning and there was a crazy like I think it's like a Japanese proverb that like I'm almost positive it's a Chinese or Japanese proverb where in the sense where like if you trick your mind into thinking that it's true, it becomes true. It's something along those lines. Maybe I simplified it, but it's more so like if you think that you don't have a problem, if you think you don't have a pain, if you think that something is not wrong when it really is, it becomes not wrong. It becomes not painful.
Yeah. And I know that's easy to say, but like, hey,
of course,
like, you're good, dude. Don't worry about it.
Hey, listen, we're not $150,000 in debt. No, that doesn't exist. We're chilling.
We're chilling.
No, it does. Good. But I'm gonna take it day by day. And some days are gonna be good, and some days are gonna be bad. But we're gonna keep on trucking through it, man.
Keep moving.
I don't know if that's gonna resonate with anyone, but it's just kind of how I do it.
I hope it does.
Right. Topic number four. Man, we got deep. I always get deep with you in this podcast, man.
It's a thing.
Been so deep.
Yeah, so like introspective. Yeah. It's kind of weird. And usually our podcasts are really funny. But, you know, something about Alejandro's somber, depressing mood.
You know what? It's Alejandro's fault.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm,
That's what it is, Alejandro, man.
And the worst part is that I am in no way qualified to be giving this kind of advice, but it's just, I just tell you how I'm feeling at the time. It's just a moment in time.
Just a moment in time, baby. Topic number 4. I mean, we can keep this short because I really want to get to our last topic.
Yeah, local hour topic.
Local hour topic.
All right. Put a 10-minute timer then. How far are we on the how many minutes are we in?
35.
35?
That's it?
No, there's no way.
There's got to be more, man.
There's got to be more.
35,
Okay.
49, 50, 51.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Nicole Kidman.
Sure.
You know her.
The kid.
The kid. No one ever called Nicole Kidman the kid.
I love how Jimmy Fallon at one time could have potentially dated her. Do you saw that?
You saw that clip?
Yeah,
That's a good clip.
I love
That's
that
a good
clip.
Yeah. All right. So that kind of speaks to this current topic.
Okay.
Kind of. All right. So she's in a new film that's coming out this December. It's called Baby Girl. Can you guess like what it might be about?
No, I have no idea.
No idea. All right. So essentially, it's an erotic drama.
Mm-hmm.
She starts seeing. She's a older married woman, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Starts seeing a younger lad at at work, and it becomes like an erotic obsession with her. They're like, oh, I'm older, he's younger.
Little coog action.
But
I love a coog.
yeah, but she likes to be a little bit dominated. So she said that during the filming, the name of the movie is called Baby Girl.
Oh, but this is actually Nicole talking.
This is Nicole
the
talking.
kid talking.
As we call her, the kid.
The kid, uh-huh.
This is what we call her. She said she had to pause filming because she didn't want to orgasm anymore.
Oh, damn.
Like
kid?
it was no one calls her kid. Not one person has ever referred to her like, hey, oh, that's the kid.
No way, dude.
Yeah, man. So
But she's married.
Yeah, is she? She might be to McGraw.
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw. She said that
Quick draw McGraw.
So in the movie, she plays a powerful businesswoman who risked her career and family life to have a passionate affair with a much younger intern.
Oh my!
And she said, like during like the filming, like the scenes, like she was like, "Nah,
like
I got to take a step back. This is too intense to the point that it's causing me to orgasm."
That's hot, dog.
Isn't that crazy?
I love that, dog. I love that.
She's been like in like the Stanley Kubrick film.
Oh
with,
yeah, we've seen her bosom many times.
So like to the point that she's like bringing it out in this movie, and she's like, nah. Whatever was going on in this movie, like I had to take a step back. Like it was too much for me.
That
I was getting there.
Dog.
This gangster stuff.
First off, Nicole Kidman is I have a thing for redheads. I love me. All right, shout out to my wife, baby. I love. I only got eyes for you, baby.
Only. Anywho,
a redhead though, dog. Yeah,
but the kid.
The kid is crazy that she would do this. But I mean, where do you blur the lines of like acting and like?
See, like that's what I want to know. So like I haven't gone too much in depth into the story.
Sure.
But like I feel like with all these movies that ever have like like a sex scene or anything, how do they go about that? Like are they doing like full noodle, like going
noodle
full noodle,
Hold on, my man.
Full noodle.
What the hell is noodle, dog?
Going full noodle. You know what full noodle is.
Or you could just say full nude.
No, full noodle.
I'm almost positive noodle is not a word.
My boy.
It is today, my boy.
You know how them boys be getting with the noodles.
So we're going full noodle. Monsters Ball, Halle Berry.
Make me feel good. Come on, dog.
My God. And but Nicole Kidman is a little. The fire redheads, man. They're a little.
Do I know the fire redheads? Do I actually know fire redheads?
I don't know, man.
No.
But I feel like she would be the type to like take a little step back.
To be like, hey.
Nicole Kidman is top 3 for me, dog. The kid.
I'm gonna call you out. Top 3 in what?
In like all-time hotties for me. Yeah,
you're such a liar, dude.
I have a big thing for the redheads, man.
Oh my god,
a huge thing.
dude.
I wouldn't even say it's a big thing. It's a huge thing. Pause. It would be like I'm into them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So what other redhead?
So, what's Borat's wife? I used to love her.
my God.
What's her name? What's her name?
I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah. She's for sure. She was like my top one for a little minute there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's a true obsession.
Okay.
Dog.
All right.
Yeah. I can't think of another one off the top of my head because I'm on the spot. I love my baby, my wife. Shout out my wife.
Shout out your wife.
But yeah, I used to.
Who's not a redhead.
Yeah, who's not a redhead. By the way.
Quite
Quite the contrary, actually.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know. I can't think of another one, but I have a thing for them.
Okay.
And so Nicole Kidman is a hottie. And her having an obsession with a younger dude makes total sense because she just seems like a wild firecracker.
Okay. What does that mean? I'm gonna call you out on it because what does the wild firecracker mean?
You know the kid.
The kid. She's not a kid. This is so stupid, man. Oh my god!
my
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm sorry. Strong 16. The kid. All right. Let's bring it back. No. Oh my goodness.
She's hot, dude.
I don't think she's hot. I don't think the kid is hot.
It's so stupid, dude.
Stupid. Oh my
Oh
god.
my goodness.
Oh fuck.
Now she a little baddie, dog.
Okay.
So, but I mean, like I said, her
What'd you say?
her like getting to the point where she can't do this anymore is like erotic, dog, and I'm
Okay.
into it.
All right, I respect that.
Yeah, dog. Like I don't really know, I don't know I don't know what more information you want to give.
No.
Let's get off topic dog, before I get hot and heavy.
No, it's too late for that already.
Yeah, I'm into the kid, dog. Anyway, topic number 5.
Oh my god. Topic
Wait, what
number
does it
5,
say
man.
on the podcast on the audio version? What does it say? How many minutes?
1 hour.
Yeah, that makes more
Yeah,
sense.
that
Yeah, that's
makes
probably
sense,
how much time is left on that SD card, or not, or maybe you just didn't hit record.
I hit record.
I hope you
It's
did
been
hit
highlighted
record.
red the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
then don't worry about that. Just worry about what it says there. Yeah.
Okay.
It says,
Okay.
how much does it say?
1 hour, 2 minutes.
All right,
Okay,
topic
yeah.
number 5.
Topic number 5. Yeah, I knew
There
we
we go.
were.
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
we were on track, man. All right, so this is the local hour.
Guys, if you made it this far, you're probably strong 16. So you're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about some Miami shit.
Yeah. So this is some Miami stuff.
Go ahead.
Christmas is canceled this year, man.
Shut up. Why?
Santa's
Here's the thing though. You say things just to piss me
I
off
know.
because you know it's gonna
because
piss
I'm
me
gonna
off.
rile you up. Santa's Enchanted Forest will not return this year.
Oh,
and
my.
that's why Christmas is canceled. A 40-year staple in the South Florida community is not going to happen this year for the first time ever, man. How do you feel about that?
I feel good about it, man. I think it's trash. I think
you?
Santa's Enchanted Forest been trash for a long time. Santa's Enchanted Forest, for the people who are not strong 16 that are not from
strong
Miami.
16, not from Miami. Explain to them what Santa's
It
Enchanted Forest
is a local fair that would come to Miami, privately owned, if I'm not mistaken,
Sure.
by someone from Miami,
Yeah.
who would throw this little show or this little fair, which was dry, by the way. You couldn't drink alcohol, or at least the last times I've been there, in a park, tropical park, which is in South Miami.
Yep.
And they had a contract with South Miami for a very long time until Tropical Park said, I'm going to up the ante on the rent or something along those lines.
along the lines.
They said, okay, well, we don't need you because we've been a staple in South Miami for such a long time, and everybody knows Santa's Enchanted Forest. It's a marketing scheme that's been going on in Miami for a very long time, and people would go there. They said, we're going to move the park to other places in Miami. They tried it in another city called Hialeah, which is where I'm from. It was a disaster. They couldn't find the parking. But the true problem behind Santa's Enchanted Forest is the fact that they never, ever, ever evolved with the times.
Never.
And that
it's been the same thing for the last 25 years.
It's legit. So they didn't up their rides.
Yeah.
They didn't actually care about the people that were going. They just knew that people were going based on the fact that they had little kids and they wanted something to do 1 week out of the entire Christmas season.
Yep.
They banked on it.
Yep.
They realized that it was an absolute garbage product that they were giving out.
Yep.
They moved it. The
Yep.
parking was terrible. The rides were the same. The food was trash. And they were charging an insane amount for regular beverages and garbage food. And so they, the reality is people are not going to deal with that anymore. You have to evolve with the times. People want more value. This is, inflation is through the roof. If you think that a family of 5 is going to bring their mother, husband, and 3 kids and spend $500 at your subpar fare, you have another thing coming. You have to evolve with the times. Give me new clowns. Give me new rides. Give me something.
Update.
Do something.
Confirm my safety.
Do something that hasn't been the exact same show for 40 years, and we will go to it. But if you're going to put out the same crappy product and think that people are going to go there, I'll give you a perfect example. I went out there with DJ Mello not too long ago with him and his daughter. This would have been like 8 years ago, 6 years ago. No, she's not even that old. It would have been like 5 years ago. He coerced me to go, like, oh, you got to go and go with Olivia whatever.
Sure.
Let's go. I went there and I was like, bro, this is the same show that I came to 20 years ago when I was a kid. It's garbage then and it's garbage now. And I'm glad Christmas is canceled because of Santa's Enchanted Forest. It was awful. And it deserved to go down as a bankrupt company.
Sure. All right. Tell me how you really feel.
I hate these theme parks, brother.
I know you do.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, Santa's Enchanted less Christmas is a Christmas I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Bro, look at, if you go to, here comes Neil deGrasse. If you go to other countries, they take their Christmas markets serious.
Of course, yeah.
They love them.
They love it.
They update them. It's new restaurants, new food merchants, new cool stuff. In Germany, in Vienna, in all these places that I was going, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Bro.
What do we have in South Miami?
Bro, if you go to Santa's Enchanted Forest.
We got a little park.
A little... Dog, it's so, bro, they don't.
With rides falling apart, the Gavatron.
The Gavatron, which has been there for years. People have fallen off that thing.
I've fallen off that thing.
It's great. The bumper cars look tired.
Oh my God.
Bro, the squirt gun things are it's awful, man. And everything is overly priced.
Yep.
So you wanna like a couple of, let's say for instance, 2 hot dogs, a burger. Your daughter wants a funnel cake. You're down 150 beans.
At least.
For
the very
some
least.
rinky-dinky carnival.
Yeah.
Because let's keep it a bean. That's what it is.
It's a traveling carnival. Every December that we have. November,
garbage.
December. Yeah.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
And then they want people to come in and, it's like $40 for an adult and like $10, $20 for your kid, and like, bro, it's a clown show, and I'm glad it's gone.
And I agree. I totally agree with everything you're saying. Now, the point that I want to get to, this started getting me to think about classic Miami jingles.
Oof.
And like, what are your top Miami jingles?
Jingles as in?
Like Miami specific South Florida jingles.
That only people from...
That local hour, let's do it right now. Okay. I'll filibuster for you right now. Like, my Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
So, Santa's Enchanted Forest.
Let's do it. Santa's Enchanted Forest.
Okay. Opalaka Hialeah Flea Market.
Opalaka Hialeah is the place to be.
Come on.
If you want to get mugged by a refugee, Opalaka Hialeah. Gotta be up there.
Come on, man.
Go on.
Come on. Now.
Go on. Honorable mention. I have one.
All right. No, I'm still going. So, Dodge Marooney.
Which one's the Dodge Marooney?
When you need a car, truck, or van, who you gonna call? Marooney.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
So that's number 3.
Okay.
That's number 3. And then my number 4. Oh man,
I got number 4.
It's gonna be a tough one for me.
For me, you probably don't know this one, but I know this one. Navarro Farmacia Discount. Si lo tiene todo. That's
really
That's a real hood one, dog. I don't know. That one's a little obscure, dog.
Yeah.
No, but there's a couple of them.
There's the whole. That's what I was saying. Like,
There's a couple of them.
Like I was gonna give my Mount Rushmore, and I was gonna ask for yours. Like
It's
I was gonna
tough.
I would say another one that's tough for me. Damn, man.
Give me a jingle. Is that the jingles are good, man.
Come on, man.
There's also like slogans that we could throw in there. Like what's the Alex Hanna? Shout out Alex Hanna.
Oh my god.
What is it like? Something call Alex Hanna.
Yeah.
Or what? How about Yo quiero ser tu abogado?
Come on, my boy.
That's like something Silverstein. What is that guy? Like whatever. Like he had a really good one. There's a couple
man.
of them. I can't think of a top
like
of my head.
Like OG, and then I'm looking through the list.
Mm-hmm.
This one, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I always thought it was a banger. Florida Center for Cosmetic Surgery.
Oh, Florida Center for Cosmetic Surgery. Just one look is worth 1,000 worth. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, come on, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
Come on,
oh man. Ooh, that's gotta be Mount Rushmore.
That's what I'm saying. Man.
Yeah. Ooh, man. There's been some good marketing schemes.
They've got bangers, man.
They really do. I remember many years ago, someone can Google this. Kaiser University had Pitbull on there. Do you remember on there? And he was like in a rapping booth. And Pitbull was just like, I don't know what the hell he was saying, but it was really, really good. I can't think of it at the top of my head, but yeah, there's been a couple of good ones.
The Fair. The
Fair, be there. It's all there. The Fair.
Be there. Come on, man.
The Youth Fair. Shout out the Youth Fair
Shout
that
out
comes
the
out
Youth
March
Fair.
15th or something through the 21st.
Something like that.
Yeah. Elephant ears.
Yeah.
Man, that's also another good one, brother.
Man.
Which is also, I feel like I'm missing one, and I'm only gonna think about it.
I feel like there's. Damn.
I'm only gonna think about it afterwards when we're all like at the crib.
That one,
There's some ones in Hialeah that are very, very obscure, like some slogans that are very obscure.
Sure.
Are you gonna hit me with another one?
No, I'm trying to think of another one, man.
Think of a.
Oh my god.
I can't think of one right now.
I feel like the Heat one, like the OG one. Can you feel the heat down in your soul? I feel the heat down in my soul.
Can you feel it?
I feel it. Can you hear it?
I hear it's Miami Heat. We can't be beat. It's Miami Heat. See, Alejandro's a little
You
young,
don't know
dog.
about that. You don't know about
Yeah,
that.
how are we not going to do this whole thing with like Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, we're talking Super Bowl because we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins Super Bowl. Because we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one.
That was a VVS podcast, man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'll see you guys next
It's
week.
hard.
Let's go.